What's up, friends of the good mood? This is Manni and welcome to the Weber Ophion setup. This thing is insane. It's an anti-Titan, anti-robot, anti-sniper setup. It just snacks everything you throw at it, and it's just fun to play. And that not with the most new and overpowered weapon. We have Weber here together with Stefan Benson, I think, and the Powerman skill for 30% faster recharge on the Weber. Important, you need that. It's basically 30% of your damage. You see, this guy also had the weapon, but the Flying Fenrir only has 2 weapons active while he's flying. Now we're loading up, we're flying, we're getting a nice absorber shield, and then we're starting to hammer away with the built-in rockets of the Ophion and also the Weber at the same time. On a side note, I do believe that the cooldown of the Ophion Robot is way too short. It should get 4 or 5 seconds longer cooldown. It's just kind of ridiculous how often and quick he can get back into the flight with the absorber. But this video is more about the setup that I want to display here. The Weber is really crazy. It may not be the most up-to-date weapon, and it doesn't have as much DPS that many other weapons have. The Wangji lasers and the Reaper has better performance, and also many other brawling weapons do. So the DPM and DPS side of things isn't too good, but you have this insane one-hit potential. And that really makes a big difference, and you bypass resistance. You can kill things in last stand, and that is such a big thing. We're starting off fighting basically the entire team at the same time, single-handedly dropping this Typhon robot there, and then even still switching some big shots over to a Capri and other things. Again, I just landed. The enemy only has 10 seconds of time to kill me before I get into the next flight. This is really ridiculous. This should be a much longer cooldown. I just don't understand why does it have to be this quick, you know? Nonetheless, we're starting off with the next flight that gives us another good opportunity to have a bombing run against this behemoth, drop him with all our combined 7 weapons, basically 4 built-in rockets, if you will, and then the 3 basically by me mounted Webers on top. I'm getting shot from behind and from the Seraph, but with the unstable conduit, or whatever the thing is called, I get more HP temporarily, and I can tank it away and get into the next flight. And you see here, just people are just dropping left and right. And I have still 250,000 HP. It's almost my starting HP, but we're at half level because every battleship fill-up gives me more max health too. So, getting into a flight, pop, that was one shot from the Weber, and the next shot will drop him through his last stand right there. And every damage they do while I am in my shield will amplify the built-in firepower more that comes from the built-in weapons. It's crazy. And now remember that we do increased amounts of damage against Titans, and that's where this thing, its universal ability comes in. One shot drops people off into last stand, the next shot will drop them through last stand. And then you have the ability to drop Titans with an increased damage as well. You can snipe back at snipers and you don't have to be afraid of them. This is an incredibly all-round fun setup, and that without using the most new up-to-date weapon. That, in my opinion, is a win. Because I think you will hardly find somebody who will say Weber is a completely overpowered broken weapon. It is definitely good, but it is not the highest we've seen in the game, and it does extremely well in this Ophion's environment, where you often have a flying, a field. You fly and you have a good angle on the enemy. They can't hide so easily from you. You can counter their corners. And here we have an enemy Titan right next to us. I'm activating the shield, blocking damage, and I'm now going full face brawl mode against the Titan. However, it is unfortunately a Rook, and that means that he has these physical shields that seem to even block the damage coming from my built-in weapons. So they do have kind of splashy abilities. They do have explosive type damage, but they don't seem to have enough splash radius to actually go through the physical shield on the Rook. And I do believe I even have no, wait, they don't have explosive expert. Yeah, those weapons actually do not have explosive expert as a skill. So yeah, this guy, once he lands, I'm gonna hit him with the Weber. Wait for it, boom. If you time it to when they land, you will do the full amount of damage. That's really good. You shouldn't fire when they are in the air, obviously, because the Seraph force field will absorb it. So I'm gonna want him to shoot me so he can start dealing damage into my shield and amplify my built-in firepower. And we're dropping his physical shields extremely fast. See how we did a good 30% to the Rook. You know, it's a Rook. That is a success. 30% damage. Other Titans would be destroyed, of course. They would be completely destroyed by that much firepower. The Rook will lose 30%, and that is a win against a Rook. It is just, unfortunately, that ridiculous, but it is what it is. So let's keep firing at him. We have multiple teammates also hammering away at the Rook. That doesn't mean they will do some actual damage to him, but maybe with the combined effort we can do something here. Although I feel like maybe I should focus out some of the smaller dudes first. He's in his force field though. That is a problem. I drop him before I die. Actually, wait. Maybe I'm still alive. Okay, I'm still alive. I thought the Rook will kill me now, but thankfully it seems like he went for a different target. So we can get up here and shoot him once more. See, he's just getting more and more HP. He's literally getting more HP instead of less. While he's decimating our team, getting shot at, and probably eat around 6 million damage already, or 8, with his physical shield and robot combined. But he is just getting more HP, rather than actually eventually going down. Rook. But yeah, back into the next match. Boom! 60% damage done to, I think, an Orochi down there. It was pretty good. Let's hop into the air and see what we can do about the Mars here. And yeah, he definitely made a little bit of a oopsie focusing me so much, because that just drew my attention to him, and that means he just died. We got through all his energy shield, and then, you know, the rest of the robot as well. And we haven't suffered any real damage right there, because that shield, that absorber, lasts for a long time. What the Ophion is, it's basically a flying Ares. But a better version of it, because not only is the flight obviously more useful than the walking Ares version, on top of that comes that you have the absorber waiting until you land. Only when you touch the ground the absorber will disable, so that gives you more time in the absorber. And you also have more damage output because you have A, increased damage versus Titans, B, you fill up the Explo meter that will once again deal damage and resistance ignore against any target that has resistance. So that explosion is really powerful. And the Weber here is a projectile-based weapon that disables physical shields twice as fast. For those who don't know, physical shields take double damage from projectile-type weapons such as the Weber, Kangdae, Nashorn, Reaper as well. Unfortunately, Reaper counts into that as well, so the Reaper does do double damage against physical shields too, even though it barely needs any more effectiveness, but it does have that, and of course ignoring full resistance too. Every type of defense. That is better than the Weber does, by the way. Again, another comparison here. Weber cannot ignore the damage, resistance, and defense systems from force fields, so flying Aether and Nether, you know. Or, for example, the Hawk Reflector, Minos Reflector, you will not ignore those. They will defend their Titans or robots from the Weber attacks. However, this does not work against the Reaper because it's the new universal super weapon that is basically a nuclear attack against anybody on the other side. It just disables and kills the robot in one hit, pretty much. But, and disregarding whatever defense systems you might have. Huge mistake in terms of balancing, if you ask me, because it breaks rules that the game has set up and that are there for a reason. But it is what it is. Let's shoot this enemy. Oh man, his reflector really lasted a long time. I wish I could have caught him without the reflector, because then I could have probably taken out that entire luchador. Here comes another luchador. Shooting him for a sec, maybe making him use reflector. I think it is another luchador. Yeah, there's two. Blocking a lot of damage now. Look what we're doing to the enemy Muromets there. That's an entire Muromets completely snacked immediately by the built-in firepower and the combined damage also from Weber. Super cool. I mean, it's really fun to play a setup, and if the enemy isn't shield breaking you, for example, Crisis Robot will shield break you. So it's very dangerous and very difficult to fight Crisis Robots, because A, they're stealth until they fire, and B, when they do, they ignore and go right through your energy shield. So that's a big problem to fight with Crisis Robots. And other enemies used to use a lot of shield break, but they don't do it anymore because the meta is different. We're not in the stealth meta anymore. we're now in the we're not in the absorber shield meta anymore. We're now in the stealth meta. So people's shield break has switched to quantum radar. And so from this, basically most people are now running something that counters stealth rather than countering shields, making the Ophion yet more viable as a robot right now. For example, the Lynx robot has a lot of things going for him. He has this initial defense resistance that is really helping him a lot on the battlefield, and he also has stealth, and he also has good firepower and mobility, and the executioner thing. However, he relies on stealth, and that is currently the meta and currently what many people bypass with their active module. And that is something that the Lynx robot has a bit of a problem with. The Ophion can live really well with his ability without having to worry too much about getting shield break, except of course for the Crisis robots. And Harpy Sirens with Yang Li, they also do that. They will... Wait, is it Yang Li? I think it's Yang Li, right? Yeah, so they will also get shield break here. Okay, so I see the enemy, he's got a Sharenga there, and he timed me out. I wonder if maybe I can focus the Sharenga. Ooh, God knows he's focusing me right now, jeez. So I'm coming up, let's see if we can attack him. The problem, of course, is that he can time me out. That's a problem. So I can come in, block a lot of damage, and then start to hit him, but he will probably... Yep, there it is, he timed me out. So... And then after the timeout, it's a bit of a problem. I can land and I hit him hard, really hard with a Weber. You saw how much damage he takes when I hit him with Weber? He loses like 20% every time I fire at him. And that's really sick, how much firepower the Weber has. And the DPM is not terrible, but now he's probably... Is he gonna... Maybe he doesn't have it ready. We dropped him before his timeout was ready, or maybe he used the timeout already against something else. I'm not sure. But yeah, so last few moments here. Boom. Wow, the Revenant. Look at the damage he just took. Woo! Yep. Getting into the next shield. Way too early again. Cooldown really needs to be adjusted, Pixonic. Please make it longer. People don't have too many of those Ophions yet, and we all know this cooldown is too short. I think it needs to be a bit longer, at least 3 seconds longer. That would already make a bit of difference, even though it's not enough of a thing, but it would make a difference. I think, really, do it now rather than do it later, because it needs it, and the Ophion is otherwise just leaving you too small of a time window to fight back again. So that was a one shot against the Muromets, taking lots of damage here. And now I'm beginning to fly too. And the built-in weapons are gonna eliminate him. Pam! And then one shot drops the shield on the Typhon robot, and the built-in weapons will do the rest. Or, well, they were going to do the rest, but okay, I'm still alive. Okay, no more. Okay, I think this is the last map I've cut together. It's a big montage here. As usual, ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to give you full gameplay montages. I'm not gonna bore you with, you know, in-between gameplay, working up to the right moments. I'm trying to cut together a lot of just what I want to show you this topic. That takes a lot more time to create this sort of content, because it requires me to gather way more video material and cut it in between. But I think it's worth it, because it means you get exactly what you're looking for when you click on a title of the video. I think that is a good thing. So let's start to fly. Bop! He made it into the air now. So maybe we can drop him. Yep, there he goes. Nice. And boom! Come on. The sound is out of sync, I just realized. Oh, he almost died, man. He almost died before he made it into cover. Did you see how close that was? He has like 1 HP. Sorry for the out of sync sound now. I'm not sure why it happens. But I realized that the kill comes like a second or two too late after the kill. Or at least 1 second, probably. So, get into the next flight. Pop! That is 60% damage done to the enemy Seraph, who's trying to regenerate his ability using phase shift to do that, but even the phase shift didn't give him enough time. So, and this match ended on beacon progress pretty quickly, so thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and comment down below, and if you haven't already, hit subscribe, as brutal as a man can hit, for more. Thanks for being with you guys, awesome as always. Manni signing off. Bye-bye.